The next day, Angelica is round Tommy's house visiting her cousin Tommy, and she looks down about this. Well, she looks down about something, and Tommy can tell and asks her what's wrong, and she says nothing. And he says, "Are you sure?" Then she says, "Yes, go on and play with your baby friends." Visiting Tommy, it is just Angelica, Phil and Lil. There is no sign of Chucky at all. So I'm guessing he was probably spending the day with his dad that day. Well, it was a bit strange, seeing as Chucky and Tommy are usually always together. But that could explain the reason why he wasn't there that day. Phil then says to Tommy, "Hey Tommy, do you want to go in the garden? Me and Lil are going to look for worms." Tommy says to him, "No, it's okay, I'll stay here." To which Phil answers, "Okay, I'll save you a nice big juicy one." This part was actually really funny and made me laugh. Tommy can still tell that something is wrong with Angelica and says, "Come on Angelica, tell me what's wrong." And Angelica confides in him, which is something that you would do with your friends. You would confide in each other. So this is actually a really sweet moment between the two of them. But instead of being upfront and saying that it's her with the problem, she says to Tommy that there is a friend of hers whose mum is having another baby. Tommy gets really excited about this and says, "That's great news." And she says, "I'm not sure it's so great. When you were born, all the grown-ups were fussing over you, buying you toys and things." And Tommy is like, "Well, what's wrong with that?" And Angelica says, "Well, my friend is worried that if her mum has a new baby, she won't get the kind of attention that she's used to getting, and everyone will be fussing over the new baby." And Tommy says, "That's a good point, but at least it's happening to your friend and not to you." And Angelica says, "Yeah, right." Then Dee comes in and says, "Oh, Angelica, I've just heard the news about your mum having a new baby. Isn't that good news? You must be so excited." And Angelica goes, "Yeah, I'm really excited." And Dee goes on saying that Angelica will feel so grown up and she'll be expected to help out with the new baby because her parents will be busy feeding the new baby, playing with the new baby, buying it toys. And that they won't have time for anything else, which makes Angelica feel worse. Then Dee leaves and Tommy says, "That's strange, Angelica. Your friend's having a new baby and so are you." Not catching on to when Angelica said friend, she really meant herself. And Angelica just says, "Tommy, you're a dope." Which was actually quite funny. Later on, Angelica is watching TV in her bedroom, and a psychiatrist type show comes on where people can call in and tell the psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever they're called, their problems. Angelica then decides to ring in. So she rings up and is put through to the psychiatrist person. And he asks her how old she is. At first she says she's 19, but he doesn't believe her. Then she says that she's 7, and he doesn't believe that either. Now, I think she says she's 19, then she says she's 12, and he doesn't believe either of those. So then she says that she's 7, and he says that's more like it. And aren't you a big girl using the phone at your age? And Angelica's like, yeah, let's just get on with it. He asks her what her problem is, and she goes on to say that her mum is doing something very silly. She's going to have a baby, and she's worried that when the baby is born, she won't get the attention that she's used to, and everything will all be about the new baby. The psychiatrist tells her to listen to him, and listen good, so Angelica says, I'm listening. And he actually gives her some good advice. He tells her that the world does not revolve around her, and sometimes she will need to share the spotlight with other people, and learn to share and learn to know that she's not the only one in the universe, which was actually pretty good advice. But Angelica didn't want to take the advice. She just throws the TV in the trash and says, what a quack. Anyway, that night after dinner, Angelica is in her bedroom, obsessing over the new baby, and being really upset and worked up about the new baby. And in the end, she falls asleep on her bed. And this is when she has a nightmare.